Hi, did you know that your house pet will probably want to eat your dead body? Just take a look at them right now. They look all cute and like harmless. But a scientist hypothesized that pet will lick and nip at the owner's face for comfort out of distress. So eventually they'll draw blood and then the instinct will take over and they'll eat you. Isn't that crazy? They'll be together with you forever. So, welcome to an episode of Nevermind the Podcast, and I'm your host, Izzy Smut. So, this week's episode is going to be an interview with Bram with Truckstop Toilet Records. It was a great interview. We talked about a bunch of things ranging all over the place. It was fun. And yeah, so he sent me this song of a record that he released with Drunken Rampage, and it's so awesome. He released Cause Punk Ain't Pretty album, and the song is called Rockstar. So when I was listening to it, it kind of reminded me of that movie Romper Stomper with Russell Crowe. Do you remember the beginning part where all the skinheads were like, yeah, broing out? It kind of reminds me of that, but like this song is so cool because I also do not like rock stars. I hate that whole rock star mentality of, yeah, bro, look at me. That's what they say too. Yeah, bro, look at me. I could do this fucking 20-minute guitar solo and I'm so sick and all the groupies want to suck my dick. It's lame. I hate that shit. It is stupid. It is a thing of the past. No longer a thing now. You know, if you go out, you see a bunch of musicians, none of them are rock star worthy. We just do our thing and that's that. You know, even if you were a rock star and you have a couple groupies, good for you, but your music probably sucks. So this is Drunken Rampage with Rockstar.
Pray to me, you rockstar worshipping son of a bitches. Pray to me, I've got the microphone, the way you're listening. Pray to me, I will be your savior, you can be my Lord. Pray to me, your hero worshipping, fuck off. God tell it to me, it's not punk rock. God tell it to me, you can fuck right off. I've seen you at the gigs, keyboard of any kind. If you round notes or wait to all the band members' backsides. Can you put me on the guest list? Can I get a free t-shirt? Would you like to meet my sister? I just want to lift her skirt. God tell it to me, it's not punk rock. God tell it to me, you can fuck right off. Fuck right off. It ain't punk rock. Punk rock's been hijacked. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Red Velvet Roads, VRP area. And since when is everyone so wearing deodorant? You can't tell it to me, it's not punk rock. You can't tell it to me, you can fuck right off. We're not about the money, love and stuff. It's been sending tons of rectified political dissension. There's other makes us standing up, parading on the streets. Forwards and forwards and your magazines elite. Multi-international shoe companies organising festivals, promoting all the greed. Cheap to the slaughter, it's going on parade. Critic comes already when it's just much to pay. Critic comes already when it's just much to pay. Critic comes already when it's just much like to pay. Can't tell it to me, it's not punk rock. You can't tell it to me, you can fuck right off. Can't tell it to me, it's not punk rock. Can't tell it to me, you can fuck right off. Fucking bunch of posers. Plastics.
So that was Drunken Rampage with Rockstar, and this next band is actually Bram's band. So they're called Barking Mad. They're an oi punk band, and the song is called Turn Your Back from the album Stone Age. The guitarist kind of reminds me of the guitarist from Motorhead. This is an awesome song. It's catchy as fuck, and absolutely, and the message is clear. You know, people should have more loyalty and stop turning your backs on each other. You know, no backstabbing bullshit here. So this is Turn Your Back by Barking Mad.
Truth.
That was Turn Your Back by Barking Mad. And the last song I'm going to play before I play the interview with Bram is called Stone Age. Oh man, and this is off the self-titled album called Stone Age, and it's so sick. I had to put it on. I was like, hell yeah. Towards the end, I was just like, the guitar solo was fantastic. And usually I don't really care for those, for long guitar solos. But for this one, I'll make an exception because I thought it went really well with the song. It added more to it, and I just loved it. So I'm going to play the song, Stone Age by Barking Mad, and then I'm going to play the interview with Bram from Truckstop Toilet Records, and yeah, so let's do it.
Bram. I run Truckstop Toilet Records, so play in Barking Mad. I'm the bass player and the singer, and I do a whole hell of a lot of work.
Sounds like it. I love the name Bram, by the way. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks. Dad was a huge Dracula fan, wanted to name me after Bela Lugosi, but my mom said no. She had no idea who Bram Stoker was, so my dad pulled the wool over on her.
Awesome. I love it. Also, you tell me more about your band and Truckstop Toilet Records. I want to know more.
So they actually kind of go hand in hand a little bit. When I put out a 7-inch for Barking Mad, originally to go on tour, I wasn't in a record label yet. So we were setting up a tour for April of 2021 of all fucking years, and everything was set to go. I spent like $3,000 on merch, almost $2,000 getting all these 7-inches pressed so we could hit the road. Everything had to get canceled, obviously, because of COVID. I think like 2 weeks before we were gonna hit the road, everything got canceled. But so I made up the name Truckstop Toilet Records because of that anti-hero song, Truckstop Toilet. And it was just kind of to make it look a little more professional, look like we got a label when we didn't.
No, that's awesome. What tell me what bands you've released on your label.
So far, like I said, I did that. That was our first release. Our second release was Drunken Rampage. I had met the bass player Spencer in Tulsa at one of the Fuck You We Rule Fests, and my buddy Deaf Bastard had actually just put out a cassette for them, cassette version of their album "'Cause Punk Ain't Pretty." And so we ended up meeting there. After the pandemic hit and all the bars were closed, I was spending all my money on records. So I decided, hey, why don't I throw it on Facebook? I'm looking, press a record for someone if anyone's got something good. And so Spencer hit me back and he said, hey, we never got a proper vinyl release. Would you be interested in it? So that's kind of how that came about. So that was our second release. And then our third release now, it actually says Truckstop Toilet, or TTR 004 on the spine of the oil change record that we just released with Dismantled. But it's actually our third release, and so that's our most recent.
And do you plan on releasing more bands or anything in the future? I know it's expensive releasing records, you know.
Oh my God, it's incredibly expensive. I've had a friend that actually sent me, when I started doing this, he sent the price list of all the, like, what it costs to press a 7-inch, and back in the 90s, and it was like $2 a pop, whereas you're paying like $4 now these days. It's ridiculously expensive, but it's worth it though. But we have a couple things in the works. Can't really let too much out of the bag right now because we're still working out details and stuff. But we got a couple of things coming up that we're pretty excited about, and we'll just see where it goes from there.
Awesome. And you got started because of your band. You wanted to just get distribution for your band, or you just wanted to just do a label just to do it?
Well, no, like I said, it was just to make it look more professional. I self-released it because I just wanted vinyl to bring on the road with us. We were going to go hit Texas and do like a week and a half and maybe do like 1 or 2 shows on the way there and the way back. And so it was really just me making up a label name to make it look like we had a label backing us already when we really didn't.
No, it's all right. What about your band? What are you guys doing? Anything new? Are you touring?
Yeah, so we're talking about doing something to hit the road. We're not sure where we're going to go yet. Can't do as long as we'd like. It's just going to be kind of a long weekend. So we're still kind of talking with some friends about that want to do a couple dates with us. And then right now we're actually, we started recording 8 songs about a year and a half ago. And with how messed up my life got over the last couple of years, a lot of stuff happened. I basically had to restart over. I won't go too far into that, but we just didn't really get a chance to get back and mix it and all that. So we just got into the studio last Friday, and we mixed 6 of the 8 songs. We got to go back and finish 2 more, and then I'm most likely going to release it. We're going to be getting on a comp. I can't let too many details out about that because that's going to be pretty big for us, and it's going to be a little ways away. A lot of the bands are still kind of picking back up from COVID. There's like a bunch of oi bands on it, you know, working class bands and stuff. Just got to bide our time and just wait for that to happen.
Exactly. And I love boy music, so that's cool. I mean, especially when you're in a band. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of bands, they don't want to release their songs on comps. And I'm like, really? That's how you get your stuff out there.
Oh, what? Yeah, comps are great. Those are some of my favorite records. I grew up listening to like Punk and Disorderly, Oi the Chart Busters, Oi the Album. You know, those are some of my favorite records.
Exactly. You get to listen to other bands that you probably wouldn't have never came across if you didn't have that, if you didn't see, you know, their information on a comp or listen to it. You're like, damn, this band I got to check out.
Right, definitely. So can I ask you, what was the first punk rock comp you ever got?
First comp that I got? Well, I definitely like the Punk and Disorderly, but also there was the Strength Through Oil. Obviously, that's one that has been, you know, something that I've been playing, but there's just a lot. I mean, obviously the Give 'Em the Boot, you know, obviously, because that's how you learn about other bands. That's how I was, you know, growing up. And then once I got severely into punk, I just got, you know, started collecting and finding and locating other bands that way.
I agree. I mean, I think that's one of the best ways to find bands. You know, the first comp I ever got was actually Skins and Pins. I stole it from a Hot Topic back when I was like 16 years old. I was like, oh, this looks cool. You know, even when I was a kid and I didn't know what punk rock was, I always loved Mohawks and stuff like that. And so when I saw that comp, I'm like, I need this, but I'm broke. So I took it. And that got me into so many bands that I'm in today. Oxymoron, Patriot, the Subversives, like the list goes on and on.
You know, like I went to an Oi Fest in a couple years back, and I saw both Bad Company used to be, or before, not Bad Company, pardon me, Oxymoron, and then I saw Patriot and all these other bands, and I'm like, man, like those bands are just incredible. Oxymoron is just up there, you know, like Do you have a favorite band that you keep going back to, whose record you love?
Oh, well, I mean, definitely Oxymoron. They were huge for me. They're actually a huge influence on my bass playing. And a lot of people tend to tell me that my bass playing sounds like Oxymoron.
Amazing. That is awesome. That's talent right there.
Yeah. So what was this fest that you went to that you saw them at?
It was 2,000 Tons of TNT in Hartford, Connecticut, and there was like.
Was that the one? What was it, like 2016 or something? Bad Company did the Oxymoron set.
Yes.
I was at that.
Oh no way! That's awesome. I was there.
Nice. That show was amazing. I fucking had a blast at that fucking show. I couldn't believe it when I heard that a Bad Company was doing that Oxymoron set.
Oh, it was amazing. I remember just looking at it being completely, like, looking at the whole stage, and Defiance was on there too. It was probably one of the best shows I've ever been to. So it was just like a huge memory for me. So that's cool you were there.
Awesome. Fuck yeah. Too bad we didn't meet then.
I know.
So one of my favorite things about that show, though, and I'm sure this wasn't great for the promoter, but I loved how it was supposed to be in that, you know, how, like, they had that big venue for, like, all the bigger bands, and they were going to have all the, like, smaller bands play in the small bar that was attached to it. And then because they didn't sell enough tickets, all the bands ended up playing in the little tiny venue. It was so fucking cool.
I remember that, and I even the band X, like they were there too, like a bunch of people. You just see all these people walking by you in this small place, and you're like, I fucking worship you, like, for many years.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know? It's that. Do you have a scene over there where you're at right now, or?
We have a pretty decent scene. I mean, it's not the same as it's been in previous years. A big thing that's hard for touring bands here is that we're so far away from everywhere that you really want to go play. You know, like 8 hours to Omaha, 10 hours to Des Moines. Salt Lake City is probably the coolest city that's nearby, but that's 8 hours. You know, if you drive to Wyoming, you can get there in about an hour and a half, but you know, Wyoming is not the most exciting place for a punk rock either.
No, I went there on tour. I drove by and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Right. Sometimes though you'll be surprised about those little towns because they have so few bands coming through that when they get good bands coming through, everyone just shows up for it.
See, that you're right about that. You know, because sometimes when you go to big cities, they're so used to it. They're so used to having a big scene. They're like, oh, we'll just go to a different place and catch it on. And I'm like, and then you see like you're right, because like there's certain places where I didn't know where the hell I was, and there's like a big crowd of people there. I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And I find that when you tour, to connect with the actual bands instead of the venue has been better. Have you come across that in touring, like where you connect with other bands, you kind of create like this camaraderie between each other?
Yeah, definitely, because sometimes that's all you have, you know what I mean? Even though, you know, your scene is small, you have those smaller scenes that come together and they travel for each other.
That's definitely true. I mean, and also, what are your plans for your band and your label, you know, for the future?
Everything cool. Just keep it up. Just keep it up and just keep at the hard work. And I mean, hopefully, you know, build the scene back a little better. I just did a show with this band, Land of Wolves. They're from Seattle. The singer is my homie that I know from here. I've known him for 10 years or something like that. His name's Joel. We just had them come through here, and they played at this venue, Bar, which is this little hole-in-the-wall dive bar that's been around for like 100 years. But the show was excellent. It was a great turnout. Like, I was kind of nervous at first about what the turnout was going to be like, especially because we set it up so fucking close to the show. You know, we only had about a month to make everything work. And so everybody came out, and people were messaging me afterwards like, oh, my man, this was a great show. Thank you so much for putting this on. So I just like to, you know, start building everything up here a little more again, and just making it better for bands to come out, so it's worth it to make that 8-hour drive to the middle of the fucking country, you know?
We need more people like you, because that is amazing. No, seriously. Like, that's amazing. Like that you're starting something, you're actually doing it, you're trying to, build, like start something. Because a lot of people just tend to complain and not do anything. So I give you so much credit for that.
Oh yeah, I hate that when people complain about it. It's like, do something about it then. If you're not going to do anything, who is? Yeah, who is?
Well, yeah. Any last things you want to say? Anything you want to promote? Anything you got?
I'm just want to promote my label a little bit. That's kind of my main focus right now. I actually just got a bunch of records from Kurt at Dismantled. He is one of my best fucking friends right now. Like, he does so much to help me out with this label stuff. He's been doing it longer than me. Oh yeah, I hear you did an interview with him the other day, actually.
Yeah, I just did his interview about a couple days ago, and he's seriously a great guy. What you guys are doing is amazing, super awesome.
But yeah, so I just want to build that stuff up, and with that, I mean, the more I do with that, and the bigger we get, the more it does for my band, and the more it also does for the scene here. Because that kind of draws attention to what I'm doing and what we're doing here in Denver,
Exactly, and also I give you guys credit because both you guys are killing it. You're doing your thing. So yeah, everybody needs to buy a record from you and book your band everywhere because you are awesome. And thank you so much for being on.
Well, thank you very much. ttrecords.us is the website.
Everybody go on it right now. All right?
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.